Okay, so this is what we are going to learn today. How are you going to estimate the square and square root of a number? So if you look at example 8 here, this is in the textbook page 55. First example here, we are going to estimate the value of 27.5 squared. Okay, the number squared of a number. Okay, so to estimate the value of 27.5 squared, you have to determine is in between the value of which 10. So 27.5 square is actually in between 20 and also 30. You have to determine that way. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to write down first. 27.5 square is between, you need to write the whole sentence like mine over here because this is about estimation. So later on you can determine which one is nearer to it. So over here we are going to determine up. So before that is 27.5. Okay, this number is in between 20 and 30. But then if you want to determine 27.5 squared, so you got to add a squared later on. So I'm going to choose the whole thing here. Okay, I'm going to copy, paste one more time. So you can see the difference here. Actually, everything is the same. So when it is a square over here, I'm just going to add on the square on all the numbers given that we have written down. Okay, so 27.5 squared right now is between 20 squared and 30 squared. Okay, that is, this one is up to you lah. You can write down, I just follow the book over here. So that is 27.5 squared is between, so we need to find the value of 20 squared. If you are good enough, 20 times 20 is actually equal to 400. And 30 squared is 30 times 30 is actually equal to 900. Okay, after that we are going to determine here. 27.5 is nearer to 20 or 30. You choose here. If you use 27.5 minus 20, the difference is 7.5. But then if you use 27.5 and then you find the difference with 30, the difference is just 2.5. So it is nearer to 30. Therefore, over here, we are going to choose thus 27.5 squared is almost equal to, because we choose 30, therefore is almost equal to 900. You need to put the value because they ask you to estimate the value. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example over here. For example, I give you the question of 61 squared. Okay, another example, 61 squared. Estimate the value of 61 squared. So you're just going to follow what I did here from the first statement. 61, we don't write down the square first, is between, we are going to find out the 61 is in between which 10th value? Is in between 60 and 70. Okay, after that you are going to look for the square of it. So just add on the square on everything. 61 squared is in between 60 squared and 70 squared. Okay, you can hear me clearly, right?
Yes.
I increase the volume so that you can hear clearer. Okay, so continue from there. We are going to write down that is 61 squared is between, so we are going to find the value of 60 squared. 60 squared is 6 times 6, 36. If you cannot do it, you can use the calculator. 60 times 60, or you can press 60 squared. So you can see the answer is 39600. Okay, so over here I'm going to write down 39600 and 70 squared. Okay, so 70, press the x squared, you get this 4900. Something wrong here, 4900. My value is not correct. 60 squared, and I press extra just now. 3600 is the correct one. 3600. So then you check in between 3600 and 4900. 61 actually is closer to which number? 60 or 70? It's closer to 60, right? So then you can get the answer already. Just write down das, meanings maka, 61 squared. Use the symbol again, is almost equal to 3,600 because you refer to this value. Are you okay, class?
Yes.
Yes, huh? You just follow the
Yes,
statement in your
okay.
book. All the statement is given in your book. You just need to find out it is in between the 10th value or which one, 10th value. Okay, that is the square of a number. Okay, this one A. Then we now move to B. B is the square root. Square root is a bit different. You have to know the perfect square first. Okay, for part A, you don't need to know the perfect square, but then you have to determine the 10th number, the value of the number in 10. Okay, now we move to square root of 54. So for square root of 54 over here, you need to find out 54 is in between which perfect square. So I'm going to write down 54 is between, okay, before 54, you remember all the perfect square, right? We have 1, we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. After that, 6, 36, 7, 7, 49, add 64, and so on. So you can see the 54, it actually falls in between 49 and 64 here. So I'm going to write down square root of 54 is between the square root of 49 and square root of 64. Okay, after that, you are going to determine the value of 49 and 64 over there. Okay, so I write down first that is square root of 54 is between, okay, now you are going to determine what is the square root of 49. Square root of 49 is?
7.
Very good, 7. And what is the square root of 64?
8.
Yes, correct. So 7 and 8, the value already there. Okay, so you are going to choose a square root of 54 is in between which one? So what you are going to do is you are going to find the difference. In between 54 and 49, the difference is 5. In between 54 and 64, the difference is small, which is 10, right? So we are going to choose the one which is nearer. We are going to choose 49 because it is much more nearer compared to square root of 64. So we choose 49 here, which means you write down thus square root of 54 is almost equal to 7. Okay, because we choose square root of 49, the value is 7. Okay, or not, class?
Okay.
Okay.
I give you another example for this one just now. This one regarding the 61. If the answer asks you to find out 8.6 squared, okay, so you are going to choose the value in between one. 8.6 is between, before you find out the square, 8.6 is between, what is the 10 value that we can use here? Is between?
8 and 9.
8 and 9? Is it between 8 and 9? Okay, you go back to this again. We go back to the first few examples. This one, because it involves tens, right? This one involves 10, so we are going to find out the 10th value over here like this. But then this one, it hasn't reached 10 yet. So the number that is less than 8.6 will be 8. Okay, it's between 8 and the number that is greater than 8.6. Okay, the unit only, because the place value over here is unit. So it's between 8 and 9. Okay, then when it comes to 8.6 squared, it is in between 8 squared and 9 squared. So then you choose 8.6 is nearer to 8 or 9. It is nearer to 9.
9.
Yeah, correct. That is, then you can write down 8.6 squared is between 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81. Then you can choose the answer already. Thus, 8.6 squared is almost equal to the value of 9 squared is 81. That is how you choose your answer. Okay, if the value is getting smaller, they give you a smaller value like this 0.235 squared. They ask you to find out 0.235 squared. You see the value is 0 over here, but then this one is unit. So how are you going to choose? You are going to choose the range in between How are we going to choose? You've got to think about it because this is 0.2. Okay, we are going to choose in between 0.1 and 0.3. Okay, so when it comes to squared, you add in the squared and squared here. And you continue to get the answer. That is how you determine the range, huh? Are you okay?
Okay, madam.
Huh?
Okay, madam.
Yep.
I'm okay.
Okay, good. When it comes to square root, you have to determine the perfect square. Perfect square. But when it comes to square only, finding the number, so you have to determine the range by choosing the correct place value first. If the place value involved is 10 here, 20 plus 7, 10, right? So you have to choose the correct range. If the place value is just a unit, then you have to choose the range in unit. If the place value is in decimal, so you have to choose the correct decimal number. Okay, huh? So let's see. Okay, before I continue with the next one, everyone, you go to GC because later on I want you to hand in this one. You go to GC over here. I've already posted the class work. There are 2 class work that to be done today. Right now, I want you to do this. This part here, estimate the square and the square root of a number. So choose the first one here. Estimate the square and square root. The live worksheet. So I give you about 10 minutes. Everybody, you fill in all the answers here. Okay, estimate the value of 32 squared. So you determine 32 squared is in between what? So this 32, it involves the place value of 10, right? So you got to choose. I give you a hint. This one is 30 and
40.
correct. So everybody, you fill in this right now. After that, you capture the screen with your score that you get, and then you attach it in your Google Class. For me, I need you to attach one of these right now, and the other one, we are going to do it afterwards. Okay, so I give you 10 minutes, you do it now.
Okay.
Okay, it's 11:55 already. Do you manage to finish it? One person turned in, Alisa Sophia. Okay, 6 out of 10. Thank you, very good. Okay, let's go back. If you haven't done, never mind. You can continue after this. Just make sure you don't close the window of it. After that, you continue with it later on. Okay, I'm going to discuss some of the questions with you right now to check whether you got it right or not. So let's move to this. Okay, these are the questions that we did just now, for example. The first one is already covered, but I'm sure you know 32 is between 30 and 40 because the place value of 32 is 10. Okay, so it is between 30 squared and 40 squared, then it's between 900 and 1600. So 32 is nearer to 30. Therefore, we choose 32 is almost equal to 900. And then for 11.9 squared, the place value over here is also a 10. Okay, the place value for 1. So it's between 10 and 20. Okay, after that, we choose for the correct 10 squared is 100. You choose for the correct squared. 20 squared is 400. And then 11.9 is nearer or closer to 10. So 11.9 squared is almost equal to 100. We choose this, we choose this. Then for the third question, at 0.7 squared, so this one is the place value is unit. So we choose in between 8 and 9. 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81. Then you determine at 0.7 is nearer to 9. So at 0.7 is almost equal to 81. That is how you fill it in. Okay, so if you haven't completed it, I've already discussed a few examples with you. I'm going to continue down here for the square root. So for question number 2 here is regarding square root. Estimate the value of the square root of 52. So remember, when it involves square root, you have to relate it to the perfect square. So for this question, 52 is in between 49 and 64. I think this is the question that we did just now. So it's in between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64. After that, you got to determine 52 is nearer to which number? 52, if you minus 49, the difference is 3. But then 52 and 64, the difference is 12. So we are going to choose this. Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 64 is 8. So square root of 52 is almost equal to, the value is 7. Okay, then when it comes to this question here, B, 21.7, okay, refer to this, the value, the place value is 10. So, sorry, because it's square root, we don't refer to the place value anymore. We need to look for the perfect square. Perfect square in between 21.7 over here is 16 and 25. So you can see 21.7 falls in between these two numbers. So square root of 16 is 4, square root of 25 is 5. Then you determine which one is nearer to 21.7. 21.7 minus 16 is about 5.7. 25 minus 21.7 is about 3.3 only, so it's closer to 25. So we are going to choose 5. Therefore, or thus, square root of 21.7 is almost equal to 5. That is how you get the answer. Huh? So I'm not going to continue everything. You have to finish it on your own later on. After that, you just turn in your work. Alicia, yes, any question?
Don't worry. Yes. I'm not gonna change my answer.
Okay, never mind, it's okay. Because later on, I'm going to take the average of that two exercises, because I give you two exercises over here. One is this one right now, and then the other one that I want you to do after the lesson. So both for the answer over here, I'm going to sum it up and get the average point. Okay, now we continue with our lesson here. Okay, this one done. Just now is about estimation. So you learn how to estimate the square and square root of number already. Now we continue. We are going to see what is the generalization that can be met when two square roots are multiplied. You can see this one is in the exploration activity 4 on page 55 in your textbook. But I'm not going to show the exploration activity to you. I'm just going to enter directly on what does it mean over here. What is the generalization that can be made when two square roots are multiplied? It is simple. You look at the first point here. The product of two equal square roots numbers is the number itself. That is, square root of A times square root of A is equal to A. Okay, I give you an example. For example, square root of 2 times square root of 2, the answer is 2. Why is it so? Because you see square root of 2 times square root of 2 is actually square root of 2 times 2. So it becomes a square root of 4. So we know that square root of 4 is a 2. So next time when you see this kind of question, when they multiply the same number twice, the square root of the same number twice, it will comes up with the product of that number itself only. So for example, I give you another one. Square root of x times square root of x. The answer will be x only. Okay, there's another way that I can show how do you get the x only, because square root of x times square root of x is actually square root of x squared. X squared, right? Because you have 1x, 2x, so it becomes x squared. Cancel the square root with the squared, so the remaining is x. Okay, so that is one of the generalization that can be made. And another one over here, okay, you can see the second point. The product of two different square root numbers is the square root of the product of two square numbers. Very long, don't worry, we just look at this. Square root of A times square root of B is equal to square root of AB. If I change it to number, square root of 2 times square root of 5, for example, it is equal to the square root of 2 times 5. So the answer is square root of 10. Okay, if I give you square root of 4 times square root of 8, so it will be square root of 4 times 8. Then the answer is 4 times 8, square root of 32. Okay, so that one is the multiplication of the different number inside the square root. And then the first one is the one with the same number or the same variable. So when you multiply with the same variable, you get the variable itself. When you multiply with different variable like this, you get the multiplication of that two variable. Do you have any question for this one? Any question for this one?
No.
No.
Okay, then I continue with the last part for this square root and square, number of square. We are going to solve problem. So let us look at the problem over here. So you can see the picture given here is a picture of a beach. Okay, Mastina wishes to paste a photo on a piece of cardboard. So this is a photo, this one, the picture of the beach, this one. She wishes to paste it on the cardboard. Both the photo and the cupboard are squares. Square meaning that they're having the same length and width. The length of the cupboard is 12 centimeters. So I label it, it is 12 centimeters on both sides. And the area of the photo is 90.25 square centimeter. Okay, which means the area of the photo inside is 90.25 square centimeter. How should Maslina paste the photo such that the photo lies in the middle of the cupboard? If you want to paste the photo in the middle of the cupboard, you must make sure the distance here at the side of the cupboard must be equal. And then the distance here, down here, and the distance up there also must be equal. So before you do anything for this question, first you need to look for the length of the picture. Okay, how to get the length of the picture? We are going to get the square root. So I write down length of the photo. You're given the area of the photo is 90.25. So to get the length of the photo, it is a square root of 90.25. Oh, I haven't pressed my square root. Square root of 90.25. Then you get the answer is 9.5. Meaning the length of the photo here is 9.5 times 9.5. Okay, so you write down the working. It is 90.25 here, square root of it. You get 9.5 centimeter. Okay, so for this one, it is also 9.5. Okay, now how are we going to get the remaining length of the side of the cupboard after the photo is pasted? After the photo is pasted over here, now how do we get it? So I'm going to write down the length, just write down the remaining. Length, this part, this one is the remaining length of the side of the cupboard. Cardboard. And cupboard after the photo is pasted. Is equal to, so you are going to get the length of the cupboard, which is equal to 12, minus the length of the photo, which is 9.5. And then because you can see we have two equal length on both sides, so this one you are going to divide by 2 after you get the answer. So 12 minus 9.5 is equal to 2.5. This one is the length of both, these two, you add up. But then after you divide by 2, it becomes 1.25 centimeter. That is the distance of the photo. Okay, distance of the photo and the side of the cupboard. This one, distance of the photo and the side of the cupboard. Oh, so this one I shouldn't write like this anymore. I should write down the distance in between the photo and the side of the cupboard. Okay, I rewrite distance of the photo from the side of the cupboard. Yeah, cupboard. I always keep writing down the cupboard. Cardboard. Okay, so after then, because you can see, they give you question, how should Maslina paste the photo such that the photo lies in the middle of the cupboard? So you need to answer the question according to the what is given there. So you can write down that Maslina should paste the photo at a distance of this one 1.25 centimeter from the this one is the side of the cardboard. Such that the photo such that the photo lies in the middle of the cardboard. Okay, very long. Never mind. You just answer according to how you can answer by make sure you answer according to this question. Okay, how should Marcelina pass the photo such that the photo lies in the middle of the cardboard? So, Marcelina should pass the photo at the distance of 1.25 centimeter from the side of the cardboard, such that, follow again, come back here, such that the photo lies in the middle of the cardboard. Okay, do you have any question, class?
No.
You understand, huh?
No. Yes.
Okay, good. Then for the second exercise, so you go back to your GC. You go back to your GC over here. I want you to do the multiplication of these two square root and square of the number. This one will include the problem solving. Okay, so after you have done both of these, you turn in your work by capture the screen that shows your mark. And then I'll record down your average value that you get. It's up to you. You can try as many times as you want until you get 10 over 10 also can. Just do your best. Okay? Are you okay?
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, I'm okay.
Good. So I'll stop here today. We are going to continue on next, which is Thursday, 9:30 as usual. So next Thursday, on Thursday later on, I'm going to enter into the cube and cube root, which is almost the same as what you learn, square and square root. So you don't have to worry when your square and square root, your basic is good, you will have no problem in entering the cube and cube root. Okay, so I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you, class.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.